We are coming to you from Progressive Field in Cleveland, where tonight Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. Soleil Abreu, Ivy Garcia, Melky Cabrera and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Jason Kipnis, Michael Brantley, and Terry Francona's Cleveland Indians. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson with Steve Stone as we get set to bring you Game 2 of this 3-game set and Game 2 of this 11-game, 10-day road trip. We'll have 3 here, 4 in Detroit, and finish it off with 4 in New York. If you missed the opener last night, Chris Sale struck out 9. He's way up there now, 259 strikeouts, second all-time on the White Sox list. But we lost that ball game 12-1. It was not pretty at all. But after being skipped in the rotation the last time, Carlos Rodon is back on the bump.
I love the fact that they moved Rodon back some because this is his first year. So he's had more starts, more innings than he's had before under more pressure, certainly in the major leagues. And he's thrown the ball very well this year. I mean, he's really made an impression overall. And last time out against the Indians, he looked terrific. 7 innings, 5 hits, an earned run. He walked only 1 with 8 strikeouts, and his 6 quality starts. So this guy is coming of age right before our very eyes, and it's going to be nice to see him out on the mound tonight.
It's always nice to see a young pitcher develop or a young player develop. But Carlos, the last time these two guys met, Carrasco and Rodon got the best of him.
Carlos Carrasco probably doesn't like to pitch against our Sox very much, and whether it's Rodon or anybody else, he's really had some tough times with our hitters. As you can see, 0-2 this year in 2 starts, 13.50 ERA, 11 hits and 6 2/3. And this is a talented young pitcher. He's got a great arm. For whatever reason, our boys have seen the ball very well against him, and he lost last time out against Carlos. Hopefully, in the battle of Carlos's, our Carlos will beat theirs tonight.
Well, we've got a couple of guys on hit streaks looking to help slow up this Cleveland quest for a wild card berth. So sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. Audi, truth in engineering. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. And by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places.
We'd like to welcome all of our viewers watching on DirecTV and welcome back to Progressive Field in Cleveland. It rained most of the day, but the rain has moved out. It's become a beautiful evening, albeit a little chilly here in September. And as we wait for the Indians to take the field, let's take a look at what they've done from the mound. Since August 20th, the lowest ERA in the American League belongs to none other than the Cleveland Indians. Then surprisingly, it's the Boston Red Sox, Texas Rangers, Toronto Blue Jays, and Seattle Mariners. And the Indians have gone 18-9 over that period. That's why they're still in the wild card race. Even though they have an outside shot, Terry Francona has convinced this team that each and every day they got to grind it out. You never know what might happen. And we'll take a look at the AL wild card as we stand right now. The Yankees with a 4-game lead. They're pretty comfortable. They have 5 games in the loss column. The Astros for the second wild card spot are right there with the Twins and Angels. They're tied a game and a half back as the Angels beat the Twins in the first of a doubleheader this afternoon. So let's take a look at how Robin's going to line up our Sox for the game this evening. Adam Eaton is going to lead it off, and it's Jose Abreu in the 2 spot, and he's done a good job against Carlos Carrasco. Melky Cabrera hitting 3rd. Then it's Trace Thompson, Alexi Ramirez, Rob Brantley, Avisail Garcia, Mike Olt, and Micah Johnson at 2nd and hitting 9th. The defense and how they'll line up behind Carlos Carrasco. Michael Brantley, Abraham Almonte, and Jerry Sands in the outfield with Chris Johnson, Francisco Lindor, Jason Kipnis, and Carlos Santana in the infield. Yan Gomes tonight behind the plate. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is the aforementioned Carlos Carrasco, who is 0-2 this year against our Sox with an ERA up over 13. There you look overall, he's been very good, 13-10 with an ERA of 3.62. The umpires for the game tonight, the crew chief Tim Welke is behind the plate. Todd Tishner is at 1st. Chris Siegel is at 2nd, and Mike Everett is at 3rd. Chris Sale, who did not have a particularly good game last night. He did, however, give up 6 runs, but they were unearned in a very tough inning. And last night, there you see 8 hits in 7 innings. The big number, 9 strikeouts, and unfortunately he lost that ball game. And the Indians come in at 73-73. Now, one of the oddities of that is they're obviously a 500 team at this point. They've been over 500 one time this year, and that was at 2-1. That's the last time they've been over 500, which was 3 games into the season, bidding to do that tonight at the expense of our Sox. So they've thrown the ball around the infield. The wind, a bit of a factor, but not all that much tonight. And we're ready to play baseball. I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Steve, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox Baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. So happy you can join us for Game 2 of this series. And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours as Adam Eaton will lead it off against this 28-year-old right-hander, and his first pitch swung on and missed. Adam, 277, 13 homers, 47 driven in. He was 1 for 4 last evening. And that evens the count at 1. And here at the ballpark, 325 down the lines, 375 in right center, 370 in left center, and 400 straightaway center. Foul tipped. Sox come in hitting at 253 as a club with a 4.03 ERA.
You can tell Carrasco's got a very good arm. He has both a slider, which is good, and a split change that actually is close to as fast as his slider. Hard to tell the difference between the 2 pitches.
That's a souvenir left side.
He got that one up there at 97, so there's nothing wrong with his arm. And really his career started to blossom when he was moved to the bullpen as a demotion. Worked on his motion and realized that if he simplified it, he'd be in better shape. And now he takes every pitch from the stretch as if he still were a reliever.
Now field for the most part straight up. That's up high. Not spread out very much.
Maybe look at the career numbers. They're not all that good yet, but he's gotten better and better. Almonte fairly shallow in center field.
And once again, Adam seeing a lot of pitches, working that guy out. Full count. And another foul ball. And that's another souvenir. So a crisp, brisk evening here in Cleveland.
This is going to be at the very least a 9-pitch at bat. So Adam playing the leadoff hitter to perfection against the young right-hander who signed a 4-year, $22 million extension right as this season began.
First pitch at 7:10. Temperature was 66 degrees, and this has been so far a 5-minute at bat.
It's a good at bat for the Sox. Very frustrating for Carrasco at this point.
Well, if you're Abreu on deck, as he is, really good for you. Broken bat, it sounded like. Kipnis has got him. So here's Abreu. He was 1 for 4 last night. He comes in at 296 with 29 homers and 93 driven in. He has faced Carrasco 16 times, has 5 hits, 3 of which stayed in the park. That one at 97. Right on the outside edge.
Last 14, Jose has been terrific. 368, 5 home runs, 13 driven in, 11 scored.
Watch out.
Carrasco is the remainder of a deal that sent Cliff Lee and Ben Francisco to Philadelphia. Carrasco coming back this way along with Jason Knapp, Jason Donald, Lou Marson. The latter 3 are not around any longer. Carrasco is, and Cliff Lee was a very good pitcher for a long time.
Two down. That's a hard slider right there.
He's got just a great arm. And the spin is so tight on that, you just can't read it very well. It registers to your eye, I would assume, as a fastball low and away, and by the time you go get it, it disappears.
Yeah, when you get that much depth on a 90-mile-an-hour slider,
it's going to be tough to hit.
Yeah, very, very tough. So here's Melky. Melky accounted for our lone run last night with his 11th homer. He comes in hitting it 276, also with 72 RBIs.
Melky certainly has heated up second half of this season.
This is going to be a nice 1-2-3 inning for Carlos Carrasco. And after happening in play, it's our guys nothing and their guys coming to bat.
Local area product, Jason Kipnis going to lead it off. And it's Francisco Lindor, Michael Brantley, Ryan Raber, Carlos Santana, Yan Gomes, Chris Johnson, who's hit safely in 7 of his last 8. Abraham Almonte and Jerry Sands rounded out the defense and how they'll line up behind Carlos Rodon. Melky Cabrera, Adam Eaton, and Trace Thompson in the outfield with Mike Olt, Alexi Ramirez, Micah Johnson, and Jose Abreu in the infield. Rob Brantley gets a nod behind the plate. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Carlos Rodon, who's been very good this year. He's 7-6, ERA just under 4, but 131 strikeouts and 125 2/3 innings. And for a rookie, averaging over 9 strikeouts per 9 innings, that's awfully good.
So here's Kipnis, hitting an even 300. 8 homers, 49 driven in. Out of Northbrook. That was a strike. Both of them were, as a matter of fact, and didn't get either one of them. There's one called. That's into left field, and that's going to fall for a base hit. It's a Kansas City special. And it's a double just inside that line. That's his 39th two-bagger.
Between Kipnis and Brantley, they've got a lot of doubles this year. And this one isn't hit very hard, but you couldn't have thrown it out there any better. Doesn't get a big piece of it. It's on the inside corner. And loops it into left field. Mike Everett on the call. This one fair by about 6-8 inches. And Kipnis into second base with a very awkward slide.
Lindor is going to get the job done. That'll be a sacrifice. 5-3 with Kipnis into third. So Michael Brantley likes that. Gives him a chance to pick up his 84th ribby. He comes in hitting at .316, 15 homers. 3 for 5 with a couple of RBIs last night.
And Robin has decided, apparently, the way Carrasco's thrown the ball, he's going to play the infield end. He's going to try to cut off the run. As you can see, third in the American League in both batting average and on base percentage. Big year for Michael Brantley. And that was a strike. Brantley looks back at Tim Welke, but that ball had the whole plate. It was right down the middle. It was at the knees.
Outfield slightly to the left, spaced about equidistant, spread out a little bit. You're going to see more and more managers go to this.
Bringing them all in early?
Yeah. Yep. Alexei. That was a beautiful pitch right there. He just ate him up.
Did the same thing on Kipnis, only the pitch to Kipnis was down. This ball was up. Brantley couldn't do anything with it. And so pulling the infield in. Saves an early run. And Kipnis still at third base. Boy, he just got that one deep in Brantley's kitchen.
Now this is a game as you see Rayburn.
He hit him.
And that hit him, so he will go to first base.
It's actually a break because that would have been a tough pitch to corral, and if that gets away from Brantley, it's going to be a run. As it is, it's a dead ball, and runners are at the corners.
They'll bring up Santana. Santana, big hit in that game last night, a grand slam, the second one of his career. Santana comes in hitting at .237, 16 long ones and 72 driven in.
He came into last night's game hitting .333 against Chris Sale, and then really stung him early.
Missed the game last night. Poof.
Third inning. Got a low fastball and took it out of the park.
Count evens at 1 with runners at the corners, 2 down here in the bottom of the first if you're just tuning in. And the count 1-2. That fastball at 96.
What you have to love about Carlos Rodon is that at this stage of his career, which is very early in what looks to be a very successful career, he's able to get inside and willing to throw inside on the right-handers consistently.
He gone. So he pitches over that leadoff double, and after 1, no score.
Later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
And right now, let's check out our picks to click tonight. Jim Angio, Mike Leary, Dave Ross, and the crew. They went with Micah Johnson. Steve's going with Adam Eaton and AT CLE, and all the girls on her tennis team down in South Bend. We're going to go with Melky Cabrera. Congratulations to Packy's husband, Brian, on a victory over Georgia Tech today.
They killed Georgia Tech today.
They came back with a couple of quick scores at the end, but 30-22.
They dominated the game.
They certainly did that. Listening to some of the pregame chatter before, you'd have thought Notre Dame was going to get run right out of the stadium today. The defense did the job as Trace can't get it, and the count 0-2.
One of the things Trace has done recently is started to expand that strike zone and swinging a lot of face-high fastballs. Gomes wants one up again, and Carrasco says no. That's what Carlos wanted, and a good stop by Gomes.
Well, we're going to say the same thing about Carrasco as we said about Sonny Gray of the Oakland A's. If you get 2 strikes on you, you got a problem.
Well, with the 2 pitches he has, the slider, which is excellent, the split change, which comes in just about as hard as the slider, maybe a couple miles an hour less, he's not easy to hit. And if he does try to get hit with a fastball, you got to make some hay with it early.
Alexei at 251, 10 homers, 57 driven in. 0 for 3 last night, and 7 for 27 lifetime off Carrasco. Carlos Carrasco 6'4", 210 pounds. One and 2 the count.
Month of September has been pretty good for Alexei.
That had part of the zone, didn't get it. 2 and 2. Outfield straight up. And a full count. Two down.
He got him. That was a pretty good pitch.
Third strikeout for Carrasco.
Alexei didn't like it, but that's just an excellent pitch.
So here's Rob Brantley. Rob has faced Carrasco one time, and he has a 3-run homer. 2 out, 1-1 the count. Second of this 3-game set and second of this 11-game 10-day road trip. We'll conclude this series tomorrow. Head on over to Detroit. Split doubleheader on Monday. That's not a strike. It was called one in the count 1-2. Strikes out the side. And after an inning and a half, no score.
And it's the last 6 starts of Carlos Rodon. He's 3-2. Spectacular ERA of 1.76. Opponents hitting just 1.86. And when you give up 27 hits in 41 innings and you strike out 41 while walking 15, you're going to be in pretty good shape with those 6 quality starts. So things going very well for him. He was pushed back, and the one thing when you're pushed back of your normal routine you worry about is the control. In the first inning, he did hit Rayburn. Other than that, he got everything around the plate. And the stuff tonight looks crisp again as you take a look at the Terminal Tower, one of the landmarks in downtown Cleveland, and at one point the tallest building in the country. That was a bit ago, though, when Mike Leary was growing up.
Yan Gomes will lead it off for the Tribe. He'll be followed by Johnson and then Almonte. Takes ball 1. Gomes did not play last night. He comes in hitting at .217, 11 homers and 42 knocked in.
Gomes had his early season interrupted, and he's really played catch up after that. Has not been a particularly good year for him. He had a knee injury and a play at the plate. Missed 6 weeks, and when you miss 6 weeks in the early going, it's going to be very difficult to get everything back. And he's not 100% still. But this is one of the real talented young catchers in the game. Last year, .278 with 21 homers, 74 driven in. He won't approach those figures this year.
That's can of corn.
Join us at U.S. Cellular Field on Saturday, October 3rd, as the White Sox host the Detroit Tigers at 6:10. First 10,000 fans will receive an exclusive stretch sale action figure. For tickets and more information, visit whitesox.com.
Chris Johnson coming over from Atlanta. 1 for 4 with a couple of RBIs last night.
He won a National League batting title after moving over from Houston to Atlanta.
Well, he uses that side of the field quite often. Very seldom. It happens, but very seldom you see a dead pull hitter win a batting title.
Can you remember one of those guys that won it?
Oh, sure. Won a few of them. Ted Williams. He gets jammed right there. Couldn't pick it up. Now he picks it up and he makes the recovery.
Could very well be that dark clouds have helped him a little, because at this time of night without the dark clouds it would be a very gray sky, and Adam just loses the ball, can't find it at all, then finally does and makes the running catch.
Here's Almonte. Abraham at 256, 4 homers, 17 driven in. And Carlos catches a break there. Uh-oh. Micah? No.
There's an example. If you're a first baseman, you got to know what your pitcher can do, because there's a very good chance you don't have the good coordination with your second baseman if he's not out there every day. And if Jose would have stayed back, Carlos would have made that play easily by coming in. Puts a lot of pressure on Micah to get to the bag. Again, they don't have the coordination because Micah's not there every day. So when Jose came in, Micah couldn't get there in time, and it turns into a base hit.
So here's Sands. Jerry Sands at 236, 3 homers, 17 knocked in. Almonte 6 for 6 in stolen bases.
At one point, Jerry Sands was one of the leading prospects in the Los Angeles Dodgers organization. But since then, things haven't worked out as he would have liked.
Shuffles over to Micah, and that'll retire to the side. We're into the third, still no score. On the lakefront or Chicago River, contact the Anita D Yacht Charters. Anita D Yacht Charters specializes in fully customizable corporate outings, social events, and weddings aboard their 2 private and exclusive luxury yacht venues. So book today at AnitaD.com.
One of the reasons why Carlos Carrasco has gotten better this last month especially. Just about 80% of the time he's throwing strike one. So if you get ahead of the hitters, it's a very much of a defensive at bat.
Well, I was reading a piece on him several months ago. Started off with him talking about how he has just gotten in his mindset now to just attack the strike zone.
Yeah, that's exactly what he looks like. He's trying to throw a strike with every pitch, not wasting anything.
Well, the one thing, you're twixt and tween off Carrasco. We're going to show you next time Trace comes up what young hitters especially do. 0-2 the count right here to Avi. You've got to lay off the high fastball. That's number one. But once you do that, he's got you at his mercy with the arm he has and the stuff he has. Because now you got to protect up and you got to try to make him get it down. And we'll show you why that's fouled away.
Well, he looked at 8 different signs from Yan Gomes before finally choosing one that broke Avi's bat.
Well, I like that in a pitcher. Take command. Call your ball game. You're the one that's throwing it.
You got to throw it with conviction. And I've always felt that when a pitcher doesn't have the right to shake off the catcher, just throw what the catcher calls, and it's not your game, you lose that sense of responsibility. You see Carlos Carrasco strikeouts per 9 innings. Chris Sale at the top with Archer, and then Carrasco. That puts him in pretty good company.
The 0-2 pitch. Saw that ball was down out of the zone. In and out. Covering in and out is one thing. Covering up and down is another. 2 separate entities. Foul ball. And here's the sequence to Trace Thompson, young hitter. And watch first pitches. That's why you got to get these guys with stuff like this as quick as you can. And that was the one to get him. Now watch the height here. You cannot catch him up there. Now when he gets you up there, you got to say to yourself as a hitter, make him get it down, make him get it down. That's why you'll see a lot of guys throwing that breaking ball in the dirt. Because it starts off low. You've already more or less talked yourself into swinging at something downstairs. And now the difference in the height there is more than just a few feet. But the biggest thing is laying off that high fastball. That pitch at 89. That's 4 strikeouts in a row, 5 altogether.
Gomes wants it low and away. This is that split change.
With good movement.
And that one actually backed up. Probably wasn't what he was looking for, and certainly wasn't in the location he was looking for, but he fooled him.
As long as it's moving.
He's got just excellent stuff.
And yet we have handled him very well. 1-3 this year with a 10.03 ERA. Lifetime 3-7 against us.
This particular guy that's thrown here tonight with this stuff is not the guy that we've handled in the past.
Not at all. He's got Nintendo stuff so far. Bolt at 238, a couple homers, 3 driven in. This is when you got to say to yourself as a hitter, I'm going to get him as quick as I can. Not going to get him up there. Here's a perfect candidate right here, a guy with good stuff out there on the mound. If you're a right-handed hitter, where you can just stand right on top of that plate and don't let him freewheel that slider, and don't let him freewheel that split change. If you give him all that room right there, ooh. But it's hard for a lot of hitters to stand close to the plate. But if you go to Cooperstown and look at some of the stances in relationship to the position in the batter's box, Cooperstown is filled with guys who stood right on top of the plate. That's 5 strikeouts in a row. 6 altogether.
This looks like that split change again. And he's got it at 90 miles an hour. His fastball is 97. The split change is anywhere from 88 to 90. And he's got a slider at the same velocity as the split change.
With more depth.
Making him really difficult to hit.
Well, he's faced 8 guys and he has 6 strikeouts. That'll tell you something about the stuff he has this evening.
Terry Francona was talking about what his young players on his team, and there's a bunch of them, what they're going through this year and how it's going to help him in future years. He said, because look, we are in a chase for the wild card, so we're in a chase for postseason play, and he said the young guys playing games that are pressure packed in September, this can only benefit them as things get better on this team for later years.
He's so right.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't gone through it, it's tough to know exactly how to do it. So guys like Lindor, who came to this team, now he finds himself chasing postseason play. And if you look at his numbers, Hawk, they're very similar to Carlos Correa.
Well, they've got about the same amount of at bats, even though Correa came up late, as did Lindor.
Yeah, Lindor came up after Correa, and the real difference is in home runs. But I think the overall play is pretty similar. I mean, he's not going to get he didn't get the pub that Correa got. He's not in what Houston is as far as in the lead the whole time until they just gave it up recently.
Well, talent-wise, he's got as much talent as Correa.
He's terrific. He's really good.
He just doesn't have as much power as Correa has.
No, Correa is playing in a wonderful ballpark for right-hand hitters.
Well, Lindor is too, even though he's a switch hitter, because he hit that home run in the opposite field last night. Once he gets in his head, that he can go that way and hit those seats. He's going to hit more. You mentioned 20. He's going to hit more than 20 home runs 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. Pretty good rip right there.
This was a home run last night, and it really shows you that despite the fact he doesn't look like a strong guy, he is a very strong guy. Takes this ball out, and it goes out by a pretty good margin. And that's not his strong side. His strong side is the left side.
Well, Correa debuted against against Chris Sale on June 8th, and Lindor debuted for these guys on June 14th. That's into left field. Caught by Brantley, and that'll retire the side.
Chicago Data Strong fan. You just might see yourself on an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile.
Bottom of the third inning. No score. Top of the order. Kipnis, Lindor, and Brantley to face Carlos. Checking some other scores. Boston beat the Blue Jays 7-6. American League MVP Josh Donaldson walked 3 times in that game and scored 3 runs. Check out the National League MVP as there's a bunt.
Pretty good bunt by Kipnis. It looked like it might have bounced off the plate. It took a high hop, and he's got good speed. So he stayed around long enough to make sure this was in fair territory and then beat the play at first base. Todd Tishner on the call, and Kipnis hits the front part of the bag and beats the play. Carlos did everything he could do, but he couldn't get it there in time.
So here's Lindor. He had a sacrifice bunt after Kipnis. All right, take it down, boys. Rack him up. 144th double play turn by our guys. Tribe has 123.
And Lindor, despite his speed, and he's got pretty good speed, grounded into his 12th double play.
He just hit that ball too hard.
Yeah, that's in 85 games, and he did. He can hit the ball hard.
So here's Brantley. He grounded out to Alexei.
Brantley's had a bad back. He hurt it in spring training. He pretty much refuses to come out and doesn't talk about it, doesn't complain about it. Certainly, he's played 133 games.
So there's a nice inning for our Carlos, and we're into the 4th.
The strikeouts, and Carrasco's got 6 of them. He gets Abreu to start with, then a good slider in the dirt, gets Trace Thompson. Alexei Brantley. And Avi. And Mike Holt. And that's 5 in a row before Johnson lined out to end the 3rd inning.
So we go back to the top of the order since he's retired everybody he's seen. Hit foul at will. And I'm grounded out to Kipnis leading off the ball game. Washington beat the Marlins 5-2. Bryce Harper hit his 41st home run. He also drove in 3 runs in that game. You can cancel a post-game show. Our first hit, and here's Abreu.
So this ends 9 straight. Adam had an extended at bat to lead off the ball game, and this time a very short at bat ends in a base hit.
When you see 10 pitches in that first at bat, you're set up pretty good for the second.
He's got nothing left to fool you. Nothing he hasn't shown you anyway.
Adam 15 for 20 in stolen bases.
This is not an easy combination to run against. Gomes throws pretty well.
Ouch.
Well, Jose does that a lot. Bounces this right off, looks like the left instep.
One to count.
There's the command tracks. Carrasco throwing 75% strikes and 9 of 11 in first pitch strikes. That usually means you're in command.
Outfield slightly to the right. Good rip at that one. Good pitch to hit just underneath it. Good job by Gomes, keeping it in front of him. Ate him up inside. And the ball is thrown away. So now Adam is getting this. Slow to get up, but he's up. Meanwhile, runners at the corners, nobody out.
It's fielder's choice E6. It looks like he went to Kipnis and he wasn't sure if he could really catch the ball over the body of Eaton. Kipnis is nicked up somewhat, going back to his position, and that's going to be first and third, nobody out.
So here's Melky. Melky grounded out to Kipnis. All right, boys, let's make a little hay here. That's going to get the job done. Adam will tag. He will score, and it's 1-0 Sox.
Melky with his 10th sacrifice fly. That is far and away the leader on the ball club. And the RBI total continues to climb.
So here's Trace. Struck out on a slider in the dirt. It's also a good example right there of getting a good lead, good jump, and getting down to second base as quick as you can to try to make something positive happen. A 1-1 the count. Outfield slightly to the right. Tough pitch, B pitch. That part of the zone. He did not go.
Field to Todd Tishner. He says nope.
Seven strikeouts. 2 down.
The White Sox and New Amsterdam vodka both know what it's like to taste greatness. And for New Amsterdam vodka, that taste is award-winning smoothness. So whether you're with your friends or at the game watching on TV, lift a glass to your team, Chicago. New Amsterdam, it's your town. New Amsterdam is the official vodka of the Chicago White Sox.
Here's Alexei. He struck out his first trip. That's low, ball 1. In the finale here tomorrow, Johnny Danks against Josh Tomlin. The game will be over WGN. And then it's off to Comerica Park in Detroit. Checking some other scores for you. That doubleheader in Minnesota today. Angels won game 1 in 12 innings 4-3. Game 2, bottom of the third, no score. Ate him up right there, but we get an unearned run. We'll take it. Wednesday night, our Blackhawks are back. Watch Captain Jonathan Taves lead the defending champs onto the ice for a preseason battle with the rival Red Wings. That's starting Wednesday night at 6:30 on CSN+. Saw the cup there. The Notre Dame game today. Like Gary's telling us, they had camp there. A lot of the guys were at that game. Ryan Rayburn, Carlos Santana, Yan Gomes. Here in the bottom of the fourth, we lead it 1-0. Rayburn was hit by a pitch. Two 2-0 the count.
Pretty good game plan the first time Rayburn came up, the way he's hit our Sox. They decided to hit him before he could hit them.
And there's a base hit.
So whether you hit him or not, he's going to get on base. And this graphic will show you why. Coming into tonight, against our Sox, he's hit 20 home runs. Next best is Kansas City. He's hit 12. Runs batted in, 82 against our Sox. That's in 121 games. The best by anybody else is 25. And runs, 56 of them. The best against anybody else, 37. So he is a Sox killer, no doubt.
Santana struck out on a good slider to end the first inning. He falls behind Rayburn 2-0. He falls behind Santana 2-0. Other scores: Yankees shut out the Mets 5-0 at Citi Field, and the Cubs beat the Cardinals again. A ball into left center field, off the wall. You just can't go 2-0 consistently on big league hitters. They're going to get you.
Adam Eaton turned in a really nice play. Otherwise, Rayburn scores easily. He's able to corral the carom off the wall, and it's not an easy play. Realizing that nobody's going to get to this. Adam doesn't get trapped too close to the wall, able to get the one-hop carom and then get it back in before Rayburn can score.
So now the infield back. Gomes trying to get one in and one over. Checks it up and he takes ball one. And he falls behind him 2-0. 3 straight. That's why the first pitch is the most important pitch in baseball. First pitch strike. That dictates the dynamics of the at bat. Francona. He's been one of the most aggressive 3-0. He's had one of the most aggressive 3-0 offenses in his career of any manager. And he turns him loose.
Got his fastball right down the middle. Was a little tardy on it.
Well, Terry, in 04 especially, that was the poster child for 3-0 offenses in postseason play.
He had some lineup in 04.
Well, he had the guys to do it.
Yeah.
If you don't have the guys to do it, you can't do it. That's the reason he'll pick and choose now on who he thinks. And the count goes full. That's gotten to be almost a dinosaur. The lost art. The 3-0 offense by most clubs. That's into right center field. Got a good jump. Here's the throw to third base. And the game is tied at 1 with Santana on at third.
Adam did a good job. This ball slicing away from him. It's RBI number 43 for Gomes. And almost turned it into an out at third base. He got off a very good throw. Santana is not the fastest around. But look at this break. Line drive, gets a good jump on it. Sets up pretty well. Corrals it, makes the long throw. And Santana in at third.
So now the infield comes in. Chris Johnson popped up to Adam. And Jose will take it himself. 2 down.
Not much Santana can do on that one because Jose is looking right at him when he comes over and gets a ground ball. See Santana kind of hung up and then realizing that he's really got no chance. Goes back to third.
And Almonte, who had a bunt single back in the second inning at the plate. You got to respect that. The games we've seen this young man play, he is pretty good.
They gave up a good left-handed reliever for him, Mark Zipczynski. He went to San Diego.
Pops him up. And Abreu makes the catch, but they do get a run. And we're tied.
Heritage Night on October 2nd, presented by Miller Lite. There's going to be Latin music and dancing, special activities for kids, an on-the-field parade, and a postseason fireworks show. It's not a good time, it's Miller time. Miller Lite, official beer of your Chicago White Sox. Tickets start as low as $10. To purchase, visit whitesox.com/NHH.
Top of the 5th inning and a 1-1 tie. We have 1 run on 1 hit. They have 1 run on 5 hits. We have no errors. They have 1 error. And that led to the unearned run for us. Bradley. Good rip, fouls it back. He struck out on a good slider from Carrasco. Carrasco through 4 has 7 strikeouts.
Neither pitcher has walked an opposing hitter yet.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Touch him up right here, Rob. Start us off. He did not go. And there is the leadoff walk. So here's Avi. Struck out his first trip. Decent lead by Brantley. And that pitch off the plate called a strike. And there's a base hit into center field. Broken bat. But we have the first 2 men aboard.
And that time Carrasco missed his spot, left this ball over the middle of the plate. Now he takes it right back up the middle, and just like last inning, 2 on, nobody out.
And that'll bring Mike Holt to the plate.
It's really interesting for whatever reason. And last night, Anderson, who started for the Indians, complained about the baseballs being fairly slick. And that's one of the reasons why he said he didn't throw as many breaking pitches early as he mixed in a little bit later. He said for whatever reason, he doesn't know why, they just felt especially slippery to him. And that's one of the things Carrasco was just talking about with Tim Welke.
Well, it's understandable, and he wouldn't be throwing a lot of breaking balls.
Said he had just a hard time getting a grip on it, and still pitched very well.
Well, he threw one.
He did. One good one. A lot of spinners.
Holt can't get it. Struck out his first trip.
Anderson last night went 6 2/3, just 1 run on 5 hits. Despite walking 5, he threw pretty well. Here's like a very young right-hander.
That one right there, that was the one. Close. That little part of that corner. Two balls, 2 strikes. Brantley at second. Ivy at first. And a full count. Squeezing. One out.
Borderline pitch, high and away. Too close to take. And Mike, for the second time, goes down swinging. I think Gomez is probably going out there telling Carrasco he's starting to get under pitches. And when you do that, everything stays up. And it loses a whole lot of life, and you also lose your control. That's a release point that pitchers will tell you they strive for consistency, the same release point they have with the last pitch. But if you start getting under, it's going to affect your breaking ball as well as your fastball.
There's Micah. He lined out hard to Brantley in left field. Quickly 2 strikes. Carrasco 32 and 36 in his young career. Opponents this year hitting just 234 against him. 187 strikeouts, just 37 walks coming in. Ball gets away, so both runners will advance, and that'll change everything around. Ducks on the pond, 1 out.
That goes as a wild pitch. That's the 5th for Carrasco. Gomes loses sight of this one. This was a wild pitch, but this is a play that Gomes should have made. He didn't. Got part of the shin guard, and then he just lost track of where the ball was. Now the infield in at all 4 positions.
This is your hard high, slow low scenario for Carrasco. It was a slow low, chopped down.
Pitch he would probably like to throw. That was his split change. The pitch he'd probably like to throw would be that hard slider down and in, but you do worry about the man 90 feet away. And that man is Rob Brantley.
There's a little looper. Kansas City special. Yes, it is. That'll score 1. Avi in the 3rd, and it's a 2-1 Sox lead. On the little duck snort by Micah. Leadoff walk comes around the score.
Batted in and didn't get much on it, but the fact that the wild pitch preceded it meant the infield moved in. If the infield is back, Lindor's going to make this play easily and nothing's going to happen. So the wild pitch set up a sequence of events that cost him the run.
And here's Adam. He's 1 for 2, a single. He scored our first run. Takes it right there. And that evens it. Jacks it up. Good check right there by Adam. McEwing going through his sequence of signs. Come on, Adam. Big run out there at 3rd. Two and 2. Almonte short out there in center. And the 2-2. Comebacker. And he drops the ball. Everybody is safe. The run scores, and it's at 3-1. Sox lead.
Chris Siegel says he lost it on the transfer, and Robin is going to argue that he never had possession of the ball.
That sure looked like he just dropped it.
Trying to go for two. The throw is right there. Didn't appear that he had possession of the ball.
No. Not from that angle. Not from that angle, it didn't. Now Siegel going to come in to talk to the crew chief. And they're going to check it out.
They're going to take a look at it.
He didn't have possession of that. That ball ran right up out.
But he did get awfully lucky because Micah went in hard after he dropped the ball. And you can't blame Micah. That's a clean slide. He doesn't know he's going to drop the ball. He's just going in to break up a double play.
Adam Eaton did the same thing. Going in there because that first error. Well, I think this is the best. Watch how the ball he never had possession. That ball hits the heel, comes up right out of the webbing. So while we await that, we'll check a couple scores for you. I mentioned earlier Boston beat Toronto 7-6. Red Sox scored 5 runs in the top of the 9th inning. So a tough loss right there for the Blue Jays. Yankees won their game, shutting out the Mets 5-0. Cubs won their game 5-4 over the Cardinals. D-backs and Corbin shuts out San Francisco 6-0. Washington beat the Marlins 5-2. After 4 in Detroit, 2-1 Tigers over Kansas City. Angels in game 1 of that doubleheader at Target Field beat the Twinkies 4-3. Bottom of the 5th in game 2, scoreless. And Baltimore leading Tampa Bay 2-1, bottom of the 9th in St. Pete. So they call stands and
still goes as a run batted in.
We lead it 3-1. Here's Abreu. He gets back in. Good leadoff walk. Started this inning. First walk of the ball game.
This is pretty close at first base. Good quick move as Adam tries to get that running jump. Problem is Carrasco was looking at him this time.
Jose is 0 for 2, a strikeout, and hit into a fielder's choice. Good rip. It's hard to have possession of a ball when it's running out the webbing of your glove. That was a bad call.
One way or the other, it has not been a great night for Lindor, as he's showing the 21 years that he's been on this planet. He's still a very, very young shortstop.
Long set. Three 3-0 for us. 1-5-1 for them. Just a decent lead. There he goes. This academic. But we're halfway home. We lead it 3-1. Sands will lead it off for them here in the bottom of the 5th inning. We lead it 3-1. Sands 0 for 1, hit into a 6-4 fielder's choice to end the 2nd inning. One and one to count.
Sands didn't make the team out of spring training, but 3 games into the season, he was with the Indians. Gives him another viable alternative, whether he plays in the outfield or at first. It's right field tonight.
Two-two pitch. He gone. He knew it. Just a second strikeout for Carlos.
He just takes one pretty much down the middle. Carlos doesn't have his great stuff tonight. But once again, as he's done so many times this year, he is battling, throwing a lot of pitches in the zone. He's had to change speed somewhat.
Here's Kipnis. He had a little Kansas City special double, right? Softly hit, just inches inside the line. Down in left field, and he also had a bunt single. 2 down.
An athlete's defined by his desire to be active and continue doing the things that he loves or she loves. Visit Athletico.com and start defining your pain-free inner athlete today. Athletico, the official physical therapy provider of the Chicago White Sox. Athletico, better for everybody. It's been 11 days since Carlos has been on the mound. That usually is not conducive to great control, but he's had very good control tonight.
They hadn't walked anybody. He fell behind some hitters when they scored their run. 3 in a row. 2-0. Rayburn, Santana, and Gomes. He's 2-0 here. Lindor with that sacrifice bunt, and then he hit into a 6-4-3 double play. Ball hit very hard, very foul. Chopper 2 hopper. And a nice inning. We have concluded 5 and lead it 3-1. Melky Cabrera will lead us off here in our half, the top half of the 6th inning. 3-3-0 for us, 1-5-1 for them. Melky 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly, picking up his 73rd RBI. First pitch strike. 0-2 the count.
Pin up and going. It's Jeff Manship. Carrasco at 95 pitches.
One and two the count. That's off the end of the bat, and that's going to fall for a base hit.
Sands left a pretty good divot in right center field as he came on, tried to make the play, came up a little short, and there's the divot. Replaced nicely by Abraham Almonte. Gave it everything he had, came up just a touch short.
So here's Trace. He's 0 for 2, a couple of punch outs. Oh, and 1 the count. Watch out.
Thought Stevenson said something pretty interesting about young hitters, and he says it's nice to find out how they're going to react when umpires inevitably make a bad call against them. Sometimes because they're young, they haven't established that they know the strike zone yet. Sometimes because umpires miss calls like everybody else. And Todd says that young hitters are going to have to put up with it and see what happens, and he wants to see how they bounce back. And there's been a lot of young hitters that he's had to watch this year.
Ball and 2 strikes. Outfield slightly to the right. There he goes. Safe. He is now 3 for 3 in stolen bases.
Milwaukee is a rather sneaky base stealer. Doesn't have great speed, but when you're not paying attention to him is when he takes off. And that time, no chance for Gomes.
Took that pitch nicely, and the count goes full. Make it be a strike, Trace. Yeah, it's good at bat. Second walk issued by Carrasco. So first 2 men aboard. And here comes Alexi, who has struck out, and he's grounded softly to first. And here comes Terry Francona.
Well, 103 pitches. Last thing he wants to do late in the season is wind up with any problems for a guy that's going to be a big part of the Indians' future. So Manship is coming in. And as he comes in and Carrasco walks out, we'll step out and be back after these messages. who's done a terrific job out of their bullpen this year. A bullpen that's been used quite a bit. Manchip on for the 28th time. He's 1-0. His ERA 1.09. 18 hits in 33 innings. That's just outstanding. Opponents hitting 165 against him. Right-handers might as well not go up there. They're only hitting 109. And it's a right-hander he'll be looking at in Alexei Ramirez with nobody out and 2 on.
So here we go, Alexei. As I mentioned, 0 for 2, a strikeout and a soft ground ball to first. That ball hit well in center field, but Almonte is back there. Everybody's tagging and everybody's going to advance. So the job gets done on the deep fly hit by Alexei.
Fans of First Merit Bank Stadium Club offers breathtaking views of U.S. Cellular Field and delicious food and beverage options for you prior and during White Sox games. For more information, call 312-674-1000. Here comes Mickey Callaway. He wants to come out, figure out what he wants to do with Rob Brantley. The pen is up and going. There, Giovanni Soto, who, unlike ours, is a left-handed pitcher. Brad Mills with Terry Francona. Brad has been with Terry for a long time.
So the infield in is Rob Brantley. Started off that 2-run fifth with a walk. He's 0 for 1. With that base on balls and a run score. That pitch down the end to even the count at 1. Top of the zone, didn't get it, and the count 2-1. Big game down in Houston. Oakland was trailing. They now have tied it at 3 going to the 5th inning.
That looks like interference, I think.
Yep. Yep. So Trace is out. Runners will
Melky will
go
have
back to
return,
third, and Brantley is safe at first.
See it right here, and Lindor can't get to the ball. Smart infielder will do that knowing you're probably not going to get 2, and you might not get Melky at the plate.
So now 2 out. Runners at the corners.
It's fielder's choice. 6 unassisted on the play.
1-0 the count to Ivy. Ivy 1 for 2, a strikeout, a little soft single, and a run scored. And that's going to be unplayable. And that one's yanked foul. So the count 1-2. Going in the dirt. That's a fair ball. And they get him, so we blow an opportunity to add. Meanwhile, we lead at 3-1. Cardinals turn to CSN Chicago for the best game day coverage in the city with Chris Bowden and former Bears Lance Briggs, Jim Miller, and Dan Jiggins. At 11 a.m. is Bears pregame live presented by Meyer. And then after the game, flip over to CSN Plus for locker room reaction and more on Bears postgame live presented by Nissan. This all begins tomorrow morning at 11 on CSN Chicago. 3-1 good guys here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It'll be Brantley, Rayburn, and Santana to face our Carlos Rodon. Ate him up. Little jam job. Pop up. 1 out.
Jeff Manship did a terrific job, and Austin Adams, big hard throwing right-hander, loosening up in the pen.
Ryan Rayburn was hit by a pitch, then he singled and scored. And we mentioned Johnny Danks against Josh Tomlin in the finale here tomorrow. That game over WGN. It'll be a 12-10 Central start. That's foul. And then on Monday, a split doubleheader. In game 1, it'll be Jeff Samardzija against Kyle Ryan, and that game will be over Comcast Sportsnet. It'll be a 12:08 Central start. Game 2 will be a 6:08 Central start, and that game will be over WPWR when Eric Johnson goes against Randy Wolf. He gone. 2 down. Third strikeout for Carlos.
High fastball. Goes it right by Rayburn. Great spot when you're ahead of a hitter.
That Tuesday game in Detroit will be, as I mentioned, on Comcast Sportsnet, Jose Quintana against Daniel Norris. And then in the finale on Wednesday, a pretty good pitching matchup. Chris Sale against their Justin Verlander. So 4 games in 3 days there in Detroit. They're going to run 3 left-handers out there, Ryan, Wolf, and Norris. Then after that, we're off to New York for 4 games. Final 4 road games of the season. One pitch.
Those will be 4 exceptionally big games for the New York Yankees. Certainly pending any kind of bobble by Toronto. Toronto has pretty good hold, 3.5 game lead on the Yankees.
Yeah, that was a big hit for him in that game against Boston. Red Sox scoring 5 runs in the top of the 9th inning to win that game 7-6. That actually made it a 7-4 lead, and then Blue Jays scored 2 in the bottom of the 9th to make it 7-6. Oakland now leading Houston 4-3. Houston trying to break a 5-game losing streak. So that's the first walk issue by Carlos. And here's Yan Gomes, who's 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly.
Pretty impressive line so far at 5 2/3. Just the 5 hits, the 1 earned run, the 1 walk. And it hasn't been a big strikeout night, but pretty effective night overall.
To the count. Pittsburgh. Ben Hurdle's boys, they are on a 4-game losing streak. Cubs now on a 5-game winning streak.
Doesn't really help for Pittsburgh to be facing Greinke last night and Kershaw tonight. That's out in Los Angeles. Those are 2 real good ones.
That's into right field. Trace is there, makes the catch, and the side is retired. We'll go to the 7th, leading by 2.
Our strongest fan photo to hashtag Chicago Data Strong Fan. And you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. We've got a new pitcher coming in the game, and it is Austin Adams. He's on for the 27th time. 2-0, ERA 3.66. He's been pretty good out of the pen. One save opportunity, and that was successful. We saw him in Chicago. He's got a good fastball.
He's got a big fastball out of Millbrook, Alabama. 5'11", 200 pounds. Not a big guy, but he can rush it up there.
5th round pick of these Indians in 2009.
Mike Olt. That one at 96 for a strike. Olt 0 for 2, a couple strikeouts. He originally was drafted by Milwaukee as a shortstop. But did not sign. Oakland now stretching that lead out over Houston to 6-3, while Texas at home against Seattle. Rangers leading 3-1, top of the 4th inning.
Texas has the right guy on the mound. Cole Hamels pitching for them at home.
There's a nice piece of woodwork for a base hit.
After a couple of strikeouts, he gets a fastball down, takes it to right field by Kipnis, and a nice way to start the 7th.
Well, our hitters, most of our hitters, I should say, are vulnerable to 2 pitches: the high fastball and the good changeup.
I'm not sure there's too many that can lay off either of those.
Well, I was getting ready to say, and our hitters are just like the rest of the American League. I don't know about the National League, what they do over there, but in the American League, hitters, high fastballs and a good changeup, very, very vulnerable. They got to play. No, it just looks chalk. So sacrifice for Micah.
Actually, if Santana wanted to take a gamble, he probably had a shot at second base, but figured he would stay out of the big inning, even though that's a huge run and you don't get the lead runner.
Most right-handed first baseman will just look there and go to first.
That's what he did. This run, very important in the grand scheme of things as Terry comes out. I think he got a little nervous using only 3 pitchers last night. So he's going to decide to really empty that pen tonight. And Adams will depart. Soto will come in. We'll step out and be back after these messages. Giovanni Soto. He's got no record. He's got no ERA. He's on for the 5th time. Just a grand total of 2 1/3. A couple of hits, and that's it. So he inherits Mike Gold out at second base and 1 out.
And Adam Eaton at the plate. Adams 1 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI. The 25-year-old southpaw, 1 pitch. Don't get him.
Boy, this is not a good night for Lindor. He had him. He took his time and for some reason lost track of just how fast Adam Eaton is. And that's going to be it for Soto, who's going to throw 1 pitch, have his shortstop take too much time. Adam Eaton beat it out, and Terry goes to the pen again.
Well, he will do that. Last year, by a large number, more pitching changes than any manager in all of baseball. So Soto departs. Shaw comes on, and we'll be back.
January 29th through the 31st, bringing ballpark fun to Hilton, Chicago. You'll score an autograph or photo with your favorite current players or coaches, as well as White Sox greats. Your favorite areas are back with interactive space play and prizes. You can shop for White Sox gear. It'll be a weekend of White Sox baseball that you won't want to miss. Tickets go on sale Wednesday, September 23rd at 10 a.m. To purchase, visit whitesox.com/SoxFest. And one of their better relievers comes in the ballgame. Our Honda called to the pen. And it's Brian Shaw on for the 67th time. 3-3 ERA, 2.68 last year. Appeared in 80 games and had an ERA just above 2.5. He inherits 2 on, only 1 out.
Abreu 0 for 3. And he's had a tough go against Brian Shaw. Faced him 7 times and he's 0 for 7. That slider that Shaw has against us has been wicked. Throws across his body, and you got a slider that's got some depth to it like he does. As a rule, guys who throw across their bodies tend to hang them. Not Shaw against us. 1 out, 2 on, 2-1 to count. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors for our guys. 1 run, 5 hits, and 1 error. It's on the board for their guys. Some guys you just have trouble picking the ball up on, and evidently this is one for Jose.
He's got pretty much a short arm release. You don't think about that fastball very much. Those fastballs were up just barely at the top of the zone. He's thrown 2 by him.
That pitch was up out over the plate.
His natural fastball has a little cut on it. It doesn't have the depth of his slider, but it does move across.
There he got a cookie right there and missed it. Infield fly rule is called. Reyes retired. 2 down.
On our Toyota pitch tracks, we'll take a look at a slider that stayed right over the middle of the plate. And Jose popped it straight up over the plate.
So here's Melky. Thanks. Way outside, ball 1. He's 2 for 6 lifetime off Shaw. Melky 1 for 2 tonight with a sacrifice fly, also a stolen base. Chopper 2 hopper. And that'll retire the side. 7th inning stretch. We lead it 3-1. Lower third of their order here in the bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be Johnson, Almonte, and Sands to face our Carlos Rodon. Takes up high. Johnson has popped up to center and grounded out to first. Just joining us, we scored one in the top of the fourth. It was unearned. They tied it with one in the bottom of the fourth, and we added two in the fifth. That evens the count at 2.
A minimum of pitches so far for Carlos Rodon. He's only at the 76 pitch mark. There you see it, nary a trouble inning to this point.
Well, that was a strike, and he didn't get it.
Yeah, that was a perfect pitch. And now Don Cooper talking with Bobby Thigpen in the bullpen. Go to pitch tracks. Will show you that that's right there.
Perfect. That's into center field. One out. Well, we've been in a streak for a while now that seemingly every time an umpire misses a 2-strike pitch on one of our pitchers, the guy gets a base hit. But not that time. As here's Almonte, had a bunt single and he popped up to Abreu. Takes first pitch strike. Finale tomorrow. Johnny Danks against Josh Tomlin, and that game will be over WGN. And the weather tomorrow is supposed to be beautiful.
Last base hit was the double by Santana back in the 4th inning. That's where they scored their lone run.
Two down. Yeah, that was the inning. He 3 straight hitters. He went 2-0. Rayburn singled. Santana had a little Kansas City special double after he was 2-0, and then Gomes went 2-0 before hitting a sacrifice fly. So here's Sands. He's hit into a 6-4 fielder's choice. Also struck out, called out, and he knew it. Can't get it. That one at 94. Angels trying to sweep a doubleheader. They won game 1, 4-3 in 12 innings. Top of the 8th at Target Field against Minnesota. They lead it 5-1. And that's softly hit into the seats.
Yeah, look at Matt Albers, who's listening in the pen, and he's had a real good run out of the pen.
Matt has been nothing short of outstanding. That one at 97. after one in L.A. Dodgers leading Pittsburgh 1-0. Two balls, two strikes, two out here in the bottom of the seventh inning. And a full count. Brantley doing a good job of getting it back to him. He's getting it and throwing it. And once again the payoff. And once again a foul ball. He gone. And that'll retire the side. There's that old slider. 4 strikeouts now, and we're into the 8th.
Of unique prizes, including a jersey autographed by the 2005 White Sox, tickets to Fan Appreciation Day on October 4th, and more. Visit whitesox.com/summer sweeps. And we got a new pitcher coming into the game, and it is Shawn Armstrong. He's the 6th of the night for the Indians, on for the 7th time, and he has given up nothing. Got a big fastball, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 6 2/3. 97, 98 miles an hour. And one of the real good young arms out of the Indian pen.
Just turned 25 out of Greenville, North Carolina. 6'2", 225. And here's Trace. Trace 0 for 2 last time up, had a good at bat. For drawing a walk. That put him in on first and second with nobody out. Outfield around to the right, gap out there in left center. Two and 0 the count. It's 3-0. There's one. Good rip underneath it. Garrett Richards on the bump for the Halos as they're trying to sweep that doubleheader from Minnesota. He's gone 7 2/3, giving up just 2 hits, 1 run. That was a home run by Trevor Plouffe, his 21st. When he's healthy, he's good. Garrett Richards. And there's ball 4.
It's been a night of no contact for Trace Thompson. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts.
It's one thing that you try to impress the young hitters. You got to take your walks. And some, it's very difficult to get across that you have to do that. So here's Alexei. He's 0 for 3. Last time up, had a good at bat though. Men on first and second. Nobody out. Hit a deep fly ball in the center field. Both runners advanced. There's first pitch strike. That one at 92. Kansas City has taken a 4-3 lead over the Tigers. Oh, and 2 the count. First and third. And Alexei. Outfield for the most part straight up, spaced about equidistant. Reaches and souvenir right side.
Bauer and Webb. We saw Webb last night, and Bauer has started against our ball club. And after a whole lot of starts this year, Bauer is not now in the pen.
Now he accepts and looks in for the two-two pitch. Atlanta, they beat the Phillies 2-1. Braves had a very disappointing season. (59-90). Alexei turns it loose underneath it. Texas now leading Seattle 5-1. Bottom of the 5th in Arlington. Beltre with a couple of RBIs. Short lead by Trace. Now stretches out a little bit. And that's popped up playable. I mentioned Baltimore beat Tampa Bay 2-1. Adam Jones, both RBIs. Adam now with 82. So here's Brantley. Brantley walked to lead off the 5th and came around to score. Takes first pitch strike right at the bottom of the zone. One out, 1 ball, 1 strike. In that 4-3 Angel victory over Minnesota in Game 1 in 12 innings, Houston Street picked up his 37th save. That pitch misses and the count 2-1. A little bigger lead now by Trace. And the count 3-1.
It's a pretty good pitch to run. Armstrong doesn't have a real good move to first base. Has a long arm swing, and it takes him a while to get it over there. Trace has been testing this lead the whole time. See if he gets a little bit bigger lead now.
There he goes. That ball hit well in the left field. Brantley goes back at the fence. Jumps. Can't get it. So now Trace is being waved around. He's going to score on the double by Brantley. And the Sox lead at 4-1. Attaboy, Rob. That leadoff walk. Good at bat for Trace Thompson once again.
Brantley over the head of Brantley. And Rob hits the daylights out of this one. That's going to bring Terry Francona out to the mound again. Michael Brantley can't get to it. And that's going to be it for Armstrong. He's going to depart. And so as Webb comes in, we'll step out and be back after these messages. At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat brings you baseball wherever you are with live look-ins, highlights, replay previews, scores, StatCast, live radio broadcasts, the MLB.TV game of the day, and more. Download the MLB.com At Bat app on your smartphone and tablet now. And we've got a new pitcher coming in the game. The Honda call to the pen is Ryan Webb. On for the 37th time. He's 1-0 with ERA. 326. We saw him last night. Threw the ball pretty well. Had good movement, especially in to the right-handers, away from the left-handers.
Don't stop now, boys. As here's Javi. Javi 1 for 3 with a run scored. He's a slinger. Almonte slightly over towards Sands and right as there's a chopper right side. 2 hopper. 2 down with Brantley in the 3rd. And here's Mike Holt. He's 1 for 3. Single leading off last inning. Pick him up, Mike. Very quickly 0-2 the count. 4-7-0 for us, 1-5-1 for them here in the top of the 8th inning. We have stranded 6. They have stranded 5. Got him, but the double by Rob Brantley knocks in Trace Thompson, who walked to lead off the inning. And we lead it 4-1. as we get set to go to the bottom of the 8th inning in a 4-1 good guy lead. 4-7-0 for us, 1-5-0 for them. It'll be the top of the order. Kipnis, Lindor, and Brantley. Kipnis 2 for 3. Had a little soft double just inside the left field line. A bunt single, and he's grounded to first. That fastball at 93. And that had the inside corner. 1-2. Ate him up. Malky. And that's out number 1.
Just like we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And here's our Miller Moments. And it's a 4 strikeouts by Carlos Rodon. Carlos fanning Santana in the first. Then a strikeout looking. Then a high fastball by Rayburn. And then a strikeout of Sands. So he got Sands twice. Total of his 4, and he's been real good tonight.
Lindor's 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt. The youngsters had a tough evening in the field, though. As Trace has got him 2 down.
All part of the learning process. Every night can't be great, although he's been very good. But this night, made some mistakes. And at 21 years old, it is, for him, a very quick learning curve.
Well, I was talking with some Cleveland people. They said he has been absolutely outstanding with the leather. Outstanding. Here's Brantley. Grounded to short, grounded to second. He popped to second. Then he takes strike 1. Carlos, if you're just tuning in, has been getting it and throwing it. And a good job by Brantley, keeping him in that rhythm. To the count. That could be trouble. It is. Another Kansas City special. First hit given up since the 4th inning.
It's a high hopper, and between Johnson and Ramirez, neither could corral it. And here comes Robin, and that would appear to be it for Carlos Rodon.
What a nice game. What a nice game for Carlos. He looked like he was just getting it and throwing it. Throwing what they call for. Quick. So he'll depart after going 7 2/3, giving up just the 1 run. Albers comes on, and we'll be back. last road trip of the season against Miguel Cabrera. And the Tigers. Coverage begins at 11:30 with White Sox pregame live presented by Orland Park Toyota. It's 6 games in 6 days right here on Comcast Sportsnet Chicago.
Our Honda call to the pen is Matt Alberts. What a job he's done. He's 2-0. His ERA 1.30 on for the 27th time. They look at some very impressive numbers. He comes on with Michael Brantley at first base and 2 outs here in the 8th inning. Got a pinch hitter for Ryan Rayburn. It is Lonnie Chisenhall.
Rayburn was 1 for 2 with the run scored. The ball just tails way outside. Count evens at 1. And it's 1-2. Each team with a run in the 4th. We scored 2 in the 5th and 1 in the 8th. Two pitch. And that's foul back. It's full. Now Brantley. Bayou's going to play behind him. And there's a big gap out there in right center if Chisenhall can find it. So the payoff. He gone. And we'll go to the 9th leading by 3.
in number 8. Josh Tomlin will try to get his 6th. Tomlin throwing the ball pretty well right now, as is Johnny Danks. So it should be a nice capper for the season between these two teams. And Trevor Bauer comes in the ball game, his first relief appearance of his career, and he is the 8th pitcher of the night, employed by Terry Francona. All of those 29 previous games in a starting role. He's 11-12. His ERA 4.71, 165 strikeouts, 168 innings.
He has good stuff. A lot of it. Micah Johnson 1 for 2 with an RBI and a sacrifice bunt. Can't get it. 0-2 the count.
That was a pretty good pitch.
1 down.
Doesn't do anything fancy, just throws a fastball, has the whole plate, and his first hitter as a reliever is a strikeout.
Here's Adam Eaton. He's 2 for 4. Runs scored and an RBI. Tries to bunt it down Chris Johnson's way. Breaking ball. When Bauer is right, he's got one of the better right-handed curveballs in the American League.
I think his stuff overall is the stuff of a guy who can win 20 games. Now, whether he can ever harness the rest of the things that you have to do is another debate.
You're talking about the 6 inches between the ears.
That's exactly what it is.
One-two pitch. Breaking pitch, chops that one foul.
He's got a terrific overhand curveball. Adam just able to stay alive.
Well, there's no question about the Indians with their rotation. If in fact Bauer is in it and pitching well, they're good.
It's one of the reasons why a few people picked him this year.
A lot of people picked him
because of that pitching staff.
That's up high. So a full count. Two down.
Reaches back with a fastball, throws it right by him.
So here is Abreu, 0 for 3 tonight, but takes that curveball strike. His face. Bauer 19 times, has 7 hits. That ball hit hard. Now make it 8 hits. As he is on his way to second, he will get there with his 32nd two-bagger.
Looked like he tried to throw a slider or a cutter or something, but it stayed right over the middle of the plate and didn't do much. And Jose one hop the wall.
Pick him up. Melky 1 for 3 with an RBI and a stolen base. $16,390. Indians this year averaging 17,899. Lays off that one. There's a chopper. Johnson comes in, makes his hop on the short hop, throws him out. So we'll go to the bottom of the ninth. It is 4-1 White Sox.
He's 6-4. His ERA 3.14, on for the 55th time, looking for his 30th save, and this is 37th opportunity. 77 strikeouts, 57 1/3 innings, and he'll face the middle and then the bottom part of the order for the Indians. Trying to wrap up win number 8. Carlos Rodon, who threw the ball exceptionally well tonight.
Well, when he gets it and throws it like that, in fact, that holds true for almost everybody on our staff. Quintana. Of course, Chris Sale's going to do that automatically. I was talking with Chris after the game last night. I'll tell you, he has got such a wonderful attitude. It's just, he's got so much Mark Burley in him, it's not even funny.
And there is Tyler Saladino, comes in at third base. Carlos Sanchez will check in at second base.
So here's Santana. He's 1 for 2, a strikeout, a double. It was a soft one and a walk. Takes first pitch strike. Santana has faced David 3 times and he's 0 for 3. The inside corner, inside edge of the inside corner. One-two delivery. Out and play left side. I mentioned earlier that Bryce Harper hit his 41st home run tonight. Only Mella, Eddie Matthews, and Tony Conigliaro. He gone. 1 out.
The pitch tracks will show you a good location for this curveball, and Santana swings over the top of it.
Matthews and Conigliaro had more home runs than Bryce Harper, who has 96 now, before their 23rd birthday. Yan Gomes 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. There was a strike, didn't get it. For us, 1-6-1 for them, as our guys try to even up this series at a game apiece and take a 10-8 season series edge. Getting back to Harper, though, he leads all of Major League Baseball in average with 340, runs with 112, on base percentage at 468, slugging at 667, and OPS of 1,135.
Sounds like MVP numbers to me.
There's no question.
It's an unbelievable year.
Hanging in there, cutting and slashing. And that ball ripped into left field. Now he's going to get back in. Gets throw, going to off the mark. Good throw, got him. But it was wide.
Combs decides to get adventuresome, 3 runs down, and it's a good play if you make it. A real bad play if you don't. This is a rolling breaking ball over the plate. Elke gets to it, takes a step or two more than he needs, and unfortunately this throw is off the mark, and Gomes able to run it into a 2-base hit.
So here's Chris Johnson. And that fastball out of play right side. Well, that's the pitch really that David's been having some problems with. The rolling breaking.
Yeah, it's not near as sharp as it was earlier in the season.
All right, you're a breaking ball pitcher. Explain.
No, what you try to do is you shorten up your stride if you can. Shorten up your stride, get over the top, and hope that you're going to get as much spin as you did earlier. Make it spin as quickly as you did earlier, and sometimes that's easier said than done, but you experiment with it. David's been around long enough to realize what a late season reliever has to go through.
Every good pitcher that I've ever talked to who had a good curveball, who had to get away from him for a while, said exactly the same thing. Shorten up my stride.
Stay over the top.
And give my arm a chance to get up a little higher. That's out of play. Count hangs at 1-2.
The pen up and going just in case. Zach Duke, Nate Jones.
Tishner.
We'll take a look at it from the side. And that really could have gone either way, and it went Johnson's way.
It definitely could have gone either way. So a full count. He reached back and put everything he had into that one. Johnson, pretty good rip at that one. Count hangs at 3-2. Ball deep into center field. And it's a 4-3 ball game.
That's Johnson's first home run as an Indian. RBI's 5 and 6, puts the Tribe within 1.
And here comes Coop.
He gets a fastball over the middle of the plate and hits the daylights out of it. That one went into the trees in center field.
So 1 out, nobody on, and here is Abraham Almonte. 1 for 3, a bunt single. Got Saladino with the cut of the grass to third. Goes through that fastball. He's got a little pop. Should take BP. He can get it out of here. He's got 4 home runs. Not a whole bunch of bats, but he can take you out.
Almonte takes it right back up the middle. A line drive rocket.
Against us, he has looked good.
He's looked good from both sides of the plate.
Yeah. And he's looked good in center field, too. Close pitch. On that curveball, didn't get it. Sands 0 for 3. Outfield there, for the most part, straight up. A couple steps deeper than normal. And that's into right field. Trace. 2 down, and that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Jason Kipnis. Jason has faced David twice, and he has 1 hit. Tonight, that little duck snort double just inside the left field line. Inches. Then he had a bunt single. Yes! And this ball game is over. So we catch a huge break as Robbie picks him off to end the game.
Almonte picked a very good time for us to take a nap. Taking a lead with no chance at all to go to second base. And he's picked off, and he's picked off by plenty. This is not even close. Todd Tichenor doesn't even have to make a tough call. And the ball game ends, and Robbie picks up his 30th save.
All right. And let's check out our player of the game. It is our 22-year-old southpaw, Carlos Rodon. He was just brilliant tonight. 7 2/3, gave up just 1 run, 6 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. He got it and threw it. He's our player of the game. So for Steve Stone, for our director Jim Ancio, our producer Mike Leary, our associate producer Dave Ross, our technical manager, fine technical manager Mark Harper, also for Mike Bixenstein, Dave Hammond, Dave Ross on camera, Doc Velasco, Justin Quaid, and our executive producer Jim Corno Jr. This is the Hawk. So long, everybody. Coming up next, Subaru Postgame Live with Chuck and Bill. You've been watching White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet.